We're going to get Eric's thoughts on McCae Hillstead being named the starter, as well as anything else from the spring showcase. So I'm going to preempt you by having 5662, their text, saying, honestly not feeling great about Hillstead as the starter, feeling even worse about the O-line. Not sure the offense is going to be able to do anything behind a bad O-line. Defense has me excited, though.
Yeah, a few things on that. Bronco Mendenhall made it clear that, look, the offense struggled in the spring showcase largely because he didn't have a full, healthy offensive line. He had some guys in there that were playing starter-type snaps, but were not ready for starter-like snaps.
And we're just playing all the snaps in general, so it was getting worse as the scrimmage went along when you only had about 8 guys that were able to play.
Yeah, so you have to take that with a grain of salt. I think the offensive line will be okay, but there are legitimate reasons for concern. And I am a little concerned about the offense for Utah State. I think that it looks like it's going to be a run-heavy offense right now. Now, in the spring, defense usually is ahead of the offense. And in the summer and in the fall, when you get all the offensive line back, you get a healthy roster, more reps with the quarterbacks and wide receivers. That'll be interesting to note if how much that changes. But when you look at just functionally what they did in recruiting, they brought in some big dudes to be lead blockers. And the way they use their tight ends. So there was some passing to the tight ends in the spring showcase, which was nice. It's good to see that. But it looks like this is probably going to be an offensive scheme that's going to be more power run based, which helps set up the pass. So it's not the end of the world. It's not like there's not going to be any passing going on. But it was clear, and I had my hunches, and if you listened before the spring showcase, I kind of tipped my hand to what I've already seen. But it makes sense that McCae Hillstead is the starter. He appeared to be the most refined quarterback of those who are here. Now, there's one more who will show up this summer, but
he's a freshman. So.
He's a freshman, so he's already behind.
Yeah, unlikely to unseat a season better.
Yeah, it's very unlikely. So McCae Hillstead looks like he is the best or most consistent thrower. I don't know if he's the best at like running the ball. If you're in a run situation, well, then you give that to Brosterhouse.
Yeah, I think they're going
that dude can pick up yards.
I think they are going to bring in Grady Brosterhouse on a regular basis. Like, he will probably play in every single game.
Yes.
Because he's going to be used situationally as a runner in short yardage situations. But like, the guy can also throw. So like, don't just bank on him running the ball every single time. They're going to keep some teams on their toes.
Yeah, I agree. He has potential to throw some passes, but he wasn't as accurate. He wasn't as efficient. I know there's a lot of members in the fan base that were really excited about Maryland. I think that he shows some things that he can do, but he's not ready. There were a few times where he was in a jam and he found ways out of that jam, either with his feet and scrambling or a sidearm throw to get around a defender to get yards and keep the play going. So there's some things that he does that were interesting and intriguing, like, I could see this could be interesting with this guy. But he's not ready. He's not ready to be the number one signal caller for Utah State.
Yeah.
McCae Hillstead is and in my mind clearly is the starter. But you're right that doesn't mean that he will take every snap. There will very much be packages where Brosterhouse is going to be on there under center. And that doesn't necessarily mean that McCae Hillstead is underperforming. It's just that based on where they're at situationally, Brosterhouse is the best guy for that because of his size. He's got a big body. He can take a hit. He can move things forward. Yeah, and he can still throw the ball a little bit here and there too. He's not a bad thrower. But McCae Hillstead's the QB1. But they still have a lot of work they need to do with the wide receivers and with Robert and I and get more refined and quicker on decision making because right now this offense it needs help. I am nervous about how this team is going to get up and down the field if they need to be in a catch up quick situation. If they can ground and pound, great. I think they're in a great position for that. I like the running backs. I like the lead blockers, the rhino position. I think they're okay there. But if they have to be in a situation where they're down and they have to get caught up quickly and do that solely in the passing game, I'm a little bit nervous about that right now.
I'll be honest, as far as quarterback play, if we are looking at McCae Hillstead on an island, and I'm not worried about his ability to play quarterback. He is, debatably the most talented quarterback in the locker room. Like, we're talking about this nebulous talent, like arm talent and overall ability as a quarterback. Like, the only other player who's kind of arm talent and overall potential kind of compares is Caleb Maryland. But as you detailed, and I agree with you, he's not ready.
Yeah, it was obvious. The size and speed of Division I college football players that's not what he's used to.
Yeah, well, and then just reading the game and it being more complex.
He'll get there, but he's not ready right now.
Yeah, so like super talented, but you got to have some time to work. McCae Hillstead has had more time to work. He is ready. He is a capable Division I quarterback. You put him and like Bryson Barnes next to each other. Like, McCae Hillstead is a way better thrower. He doesn't quite have the same just intangibles as far as like just that toughness and maybe put the team on his back kind of mentality that Bryson Barnes had. But McCae Hillstead can be an all-conference quarterback. The only concern I have is durability that's tied to how many sacks is he going to take. There's also the Bryson Barnes, like, he would have thrown for like another 400 or 500 yards on the season if he didn't spend so much time laying on his back.
Yes.
And so my concerns with the passing game aren't really about the talent of the quarterback or the wide receivers. I feel like those are adequate. Like, at least, I don't know if they'll be all conference, but I think they're adequate. My concern is the offensive line going to pass block well enough so that McCae Hillstead can do his job? Because if he's given enough time, if the Aggies have a roughly average pass blocking unit, I think they will be perfectly fine in the passing game. I think they will have a good passing game, one of the better ones in the conference potentially. But I'm not confident in the offensive line from what I've seen so far. I haven't seen the improvement. Okay, they weren't healthy. All right, I'll give you a little bit more time before I, make my final critiques. But look, that same excuse isn't going to fly in fall, because even if it's true and your offensive line isn't good because it's injured, well, you got to go out there and play football anyway. So put up or shut up on the offensive line. So we'll see exactly how that goes.